The mic is hot, the takes are real, Talin is here. Welcome to Said What I Said. From Hollywood to your headphones, she's bold, she's raw, she's Talin. And this is Said What I Said.
Said What I Said with Talin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Said What I Said with Talin. Today's guest is someone whose content blends fashion, wellness, fitness, lifestyle, and confidence, while also navigating the reality of growing up and evolving online in front of thousands of people. From modeling and social media to self-image, relationships, and personal growth, today's conversation is really about the pressure women face to constantly look perfect, stay confident, and somehow always have it together while the internet watches in real time. This episode is more of a deep girl conversation, but obviously we're still going to keep it fun and honest. So everyone, please welcome Riley Simpson.
Hi guys. Oh my God. Thank you so much for having me. That was a beautiful introduction.
Oh, thank you. We're so excited to have you. I kind of want to talk a little bit about how we met first.
Yes.
Because I was like trying to remember the other day and I was like, I feel like we met at a cider event. Was it? Because I was like trying to think, I remember that event was like no plus ones and like everyone just kind of came by themselves.
It was at the farmhouse event, right?
In
oh
Malibu.
My God.
It was so crazy, but like they invited a bunch of girls and like no one was allowed to bring a plus one. Yeah. And like I hate going to events by myself. So I was just like, I hope the girlies are nice. I can make some friends and like everything will be good. And I met Riley and it was so funny because we're both Scorpios. So that I think was like our first initial conversation with each other. We were like talking about that. Then we were talking about like relationships and all that kind of stuff. And we just kind of like hit it off, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're a Scorpio, you know, it's just like immediately bondage. Like, I'm sorry to all the other signs, but yes, it's like when you know, when you're like, oh, like what sign are you? You say Scorpio. It's like, okay, like we're either going to be really good friends or we're going to just turn around.
100%.
But yeah, that event was so cute. They had like it was like a lunch setup in like a farm barn. It was
with like
adorable.
Horses.
I remember your outfit was stunning and we were trying to get pictures and I was just like, well, if she needs pictures, I need pictures. Yeah. So like we can work together on this. And then we did. And it was just nice because I always personally try to find a friend. I really don't mind going to events alone because I feel like it gives me the opportunity to like meet new girls and just kind of like test my social skills a little bit. So I'm not like in my own cocoon. I feel like it's easy to get that way as we grow older. You know? So it was like perfect. And I think you sat right across from me.
Yes.
So that helped too. Yeah.
So I honestly feel like attention online can sometimes make people more insecure instead of more confident. Did you ever feel that way growing up on social media?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love this question because it's just not talked about enough. I feel like people who see people online are like so quick to judge them. And I started doing social media when I was 18. So that was like a prime time of like growing up. And I feel like my insecurities have only gotten more insecure, like being online. And it's such a weird tether because it's like, oh, I'm already doing this and I'm successful at it, so I must keep going. Like any job, it's not like your favorite thing to do in the world, but it does have its perks, you know what I mean? Especially this job. But then at the same time, you're very insecure just because it's impossible to not compare yourself or, you know, people might do like make judgment calls on you online or point out things that you were never insecure about before. So it was very easy for me to just kind of like be insecure, but also talk myself out of it at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like hard because like, do you think like girls today are becoming more confident or are they just like better at kind of pretending like online, you know?
That's a great question. I like definitely think it depends on the girl, but I feel like I want to feel like internally we're all the same. Yeah. And I feel like being a woman naturally, we just are built in with insecurities. No matter how secure you are, there's just, because we're naturally judgmental, like to ourselves specifically. I feel like we're more insecure, especially because you're constantly, you know, in front of the camera. I feel like every girl is trying to take a cute picture of themselves, even if you're not doing it online, or trying to, you know, maybe achieve a certain type of goal. And the judgment's so much thicker because we have social media. So you have everything to compare yourself to when you look up, like, you know, healthy diet, and you see the girl with an 8-pack, and you're just like, huh, I don't have that.
Exactly. It's like, it's really hard, like, being in an online presence and trying to, like, remain calm and, like, not let that kind of overflow you and, like, let that take over who you are.
Yeah.
It's hard when we're constantly, like, looking at social media every day and we see so many different people out there and we're trying to maybe be some certain way.
Yeah.
You know?
How
and
do
it's
you not
hard.
compare yourself?
Exactly. It's like, it's kind of just bound to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad to say that, but it's the reality of it, you know?
Yeah.
And what's something, like, you think people completely misunderstood about, like, the influencer life?
I think that people really misunderstand that, like, every influencer is successful. Like, there's plenty of influencers that you might see get a lot of views and stuff, and they could not be making $1.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest misconception, is just that, like, oh, we're all living a rich life.
Yeah. No, I think that's so valid. I think a lot of people, like, look at our job and they're like, oh, like, they're doing this, they're doing that. Like, they seem like they have everything put together. But 9 times out of 10, it's like they could be low-key struggling, not having a brand deal even coming in, or, like, they're looking for new management, like, whatever it is. There's so many different scenarios, and it's like you're only going to see, like, a highlight reel, right, of, like,
100%.
everyone's life on social media. Like, not everyone is going to be super vulnerable and open to, like, want to share their whole life on social media.
Hate to break it to you, but some of your favorite influencers are calling me crying. You know, stressed about their bills and keeping up with the lifestyle, you know, keeping up with being able to show you guys the aesthetic, and they just can't really afford it, or it's not even theirs and they don't have access to it. And it's sad. I think that builds in another level of insecurity that we were talking about earlier, because it's sad when it's just like, you know, 1 month we could be making $20,000, but we could have not made $1, you know, the past 3 months. So that $20,000 is going towards your bills that you just added up. You know what I mean? And that's like playing this catch-up game constantly, which also builds another level of insecurity, because then you feel like you're not successful at what you're doing, even though it's like, but babe, you just got a $20,000 deal, which is beautiful. But it's like, oh, I also haven't worked for 3 months, you know? So it's like, how are you supposed to go about life that way?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What's, like, one thing from your early Instagram era that you absolutely, like, it should have stayed private?
I'm speaking to the younger people. My relationships.
Okay, I love that, though.
As, like, a young person, like, as you get older, you don't care as much, because, like, you understand yourself a little bit more and, like, what you're doing.
Right.
But, like, as an 18-year-old, like, no shade to my last relationship or anything, it's just that needed to be kept private, because, you know, social media puts expectations and, you know, fonts on your relationship, and it just definitely could have stayed. You know, if you don't know if he's gonna be your husband, maybe don't put him online.
No, I love that, because it's like, me too. Like, I got into my first relationship this past year, and I was so hesitant, like, about posting it, because I was like, I don't know if I want to, like, put this all out there on the internet. But then I was like, I am really confident in my relationship, and I know this is, like, my person and everything. And he was never, like, pressuring me, being like, post me on social media, like, da-da-da. And it's like, it was always so funny when I would post even, like, little glimpses of it. People would be like, oh my goodness, like, you have a boyfriend, like, where did this come from? And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, wow, I didn't really think people were so invested into my love life that much, you know?
They love a relationship.
They really love a relationship. And then after that, they were like, oh, like, are you guys gonna post videos together? And da-da-da-da. So it's like, now I've been, like, very careful with that as well. It's just like, I'm gonna post little bits and pieces, like, if we're traveling on a vacation or whatever, but, like, nothing too much that they're fully, like, in the relationship with us.
That's
online.
That's the point. You know, it's like, you don't want to, because still it's like, it's your job, it's what you're doing. You know, you don't want to make them seem like a secret.
Right.
You're happy to be in the relationship. You know, I'm in my first really happy, great relationship. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, like they don't need to know your whole relationship. They don't need to even really hear him speak. Like, you know what I mean? All they can do is like see a couple cute videos. Like, I'm taken, I'm happy.
Yes.
That's all we're getting until like years down the line. Just like a little tea for thought.
Yes, period. Said what she said. Okay, so I honestly feel like women are exhausted right now. There's so much pressure to constantly improve yourself, your body, your skin, your routine, your life, relationships. It really just never stops. What do you think women silently struggle with the most when it comes to insecurity?
That's a great question. But I do think it's always going to be the body. I think that like we all have little insecurities about our features and stuff, but when it comes to our body, it's a statistic that you are happier being healthy and fit. Like that's the reason why people are in the gym. It's not necessarily because we love to lift 300 pounds.
Right.
Like it's because you're healthy and you're fit. Like, and our brain function and everything about us is more confident being in the gym. So it's just like without that, I think naturally we get 10 times more insecure and struggle. And it's just, I think it's always going to be the body. Like we're always going to have like the comparison goal and the, what we want for ourselves. But a big reminder is like embrace what you have. You know what I mean? Embrace what you're naturally born with. Like look at your genetics. Like don't be so, unrealistic with your goals where you're trying to achieve something that's just not even in your genetic frame. You have to be happy with your build and yourself first, and then just focus on being healthy. That's all you can do as a woman because our body fluctuates weekly, and, you're going to look great one day and you're going to look maybe a little puffy the next day, debating on your cycle. Right. So it's just like a constant battle. So focusing more just on being healthy and what you're putting into your body and physical exercise will make you happier with your body.
Absolutely. No, I love that because like I feel like comparison now is just so normalized for women, and I
truly hate it. And I see those like posts of like girls that are like, I don't want to live my whole life chasing an image. Yeah. And I relate to that so hard because it's like, I don't want to look back on my 20s and just be like, I was so depressed I couldn't even wear the tight shirt, or I'm wearing a one piece just so I can breathe. Like, you know what I mean? It's so sad. It's just like, this is the best we're ever going to look, potentially. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to be so hyper-focused on my body my whole life, but it's like so hard with social media. Right. So hard.
Yeah. Was there ever like a point where you realized you were putting too much value into appearance or outside validation? Yeah.
I think like 23, 24, I'm 26 now. Okay. I think that age was when I first like came out of, being a young adult. And then I realized like, oh, I have goals and stuff like that. And I was just like, way too pressed on image. Also doing social media, it's just like you want to be perceived at a certain way. I've had like my fair share of hate, my fair share of love, my fair share of popularity, my fair share of downtime, and it kind of goes up and down. And I feel like that's what led me into having too much pressure on all of that, and just finding yourself with the right guy, the right friends, the right, communication style that you want to go about. Like you grow up so much in your 20s, which I think is something that we don't talk about. Yeah. And it changes like your whole perspective by the time you're like 26. I know I still have a lot to learn, but it's just like by this time my frontal lobe is a little bit more developed and I don't care so much. It's funny because I was literally asking myself the other day, like, what do you even like? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are your hobbies? Like, those types of things, not being so infatuated with living a perfect life, being perfectly successful and perfectly fit. It's like, what else makes you happy,
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned to continue our conversation.
Said what I said with Talin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Said What I Said with Talin. We're going to continue our conversation today with Riley Simpson. So we were talking about beauty standards online and the expectations and normalizations that women are having nowadays. So have you ever had a moment where you felt disconnected from yourself because you were trying too hard to keep up with the beauty standards online?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this isn't like an official answer or anything, but I have struggled with that, most of my time on social media. I feel like it's just normal to be like, I was a young adult and now I'm a full adult, and I've been doing social media for 7 years. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I am confused about where I stand and, who I am, and like, constantly keeping up with the persona of being online, recording everything. It kind of leaves you out of touch of like reality.
For sure.
Yeah. I've recently rekindled with some of my elementary school friends, and like people who are just normal, living their normal life. Like they're normally married, they're happy. And I'm just like, where is this world at? Like, I don't see that. I'm constantly in the limelight and doing these crazy things that are just like ridiculous. And it makes your expectation be so high that like I am out of touch. I used to be the girl that loved, fishing and going camping and wakeboarding and all these things that are so out of touch of who I am today. And trying to catch back up with that and trying to figure out what I like as an adult has been really hard, because it's just like, I don't know, where I'm going to go from here, because I've just been doing the social media life for so long.
No, absolutely. It's hard because like I don't think we realize like how hard we are on ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like until we kind of like almost slow down, then we kind of like come to that realization.
And you got to make that full change and realization of like, okay, well, what makes you happy? Like not the social media standard, not what the girls are saying online about what type of man that they want. What man do you want? Like, okay, what type of house would make you happy? Like, what type of career could you do forever? Like, those types of questions come into play, because it's not, all the people online aren't going to live your life. All your friends aren't going to live your life. Your family's not living your life. You're the only one that's living your individual life. So you have to really make the decisions for yourself so you can be ultimately, happy. The goal is to be happy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Happy with yourself, happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly following the standard of what social media is, I unfortunately know people that also are extremely unhappy and they're much older and they're stuck in it. And I just don't want that for myself.
Exactly. No, very well said. Wellness online is so interesting because sometimes it feels genuinely inspiring, and other times it almost feels like everyone's trying to optimize themselves into exhaustion. So what does wellness actually mean to you now outside of the aesthetics?
Wellness definitely more to me is just about like my mental health. Like strictly, as long as I'm in the gym, I am physically confident and happy within myself. It's more about like, especially as a woman, it's like eating what's right for our body to flow perfectly and have a really good, menstruation and just like be physically and mentally healthy. That's the whole point. Everything else besides that, you'll just constantly have way too much pressure on yourself that it'll come as you go about your journey. Your body will naturally form and look amazing. Your body will naturally do things, but it's just like the pressure doesn't need to be there for it to happen overnight.
Yeah. And what kind of like habits have you found that have like helped you like mentally feel grounded?
Definitely journaling.
Okay.
That is a slept on thing, like journaling and talking to yourself about like what you want. And I don't know anybody's beliefs on God, but whatever spiritual beliefs that you believe in, like talk to your higher power about what you want. Making sure that the biggest hack of mine is the salt, lemon, and cinnamon water, hot water in the morning. First thing to hit your tummy.
Okay.
That leaves you very snatched and physically clear and disciplined instead of like having your ice cold water that just shocks your nervous system. Like, so you're waking yourself up just full of anxiety when you do that. But if you have something warm and those 3 things help with your stomach and digestion, that's been tea for me. And, just making sure if you feed yourself the 3 meals, 30 grams of protein in each meal, you won't have the same sweet treat like craving. You'll actually be full. It's not so much like, oh, this is what you need in order to get a good body. This is what you physically need. And then you'll be full, you'll be happy, you'll be satisfied. And those things have helped me completely change not only my body, but my mental health as well.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to try that.
You should.
I need to try that because I've definitely heard about it and I was like, okay, I'm curious to know. I'm like, is this something I should hop on in the morning? Because like typically if not, I'll wake up, have like my water and it's like ice cold in the morning, and I feel kind of like anxious, even like going into my workout classes or whatever it is. So
yeah, cold is not supposed to be the first thing that hits your stomach in the morning.
Okay.
It's supposed to be something warm. So even if it is just like even just salt water,
Okay.
that's natural electrolytes. So you just add some salt, hot water, and just have that. It doesn't need to be a whole cup or anything. Just like a nice little cup of like tea or whatever in the morning helps your nervous system be calm, and then your digestive system be flowing throughout the day after you can have your water and whatever.
I'm definitely going to take that note and I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
What's something you had to learn about balance or discipline that's kind of changed your mindset?
About balance or discipline, routine is everything. Routine is everything.
We were just talking about that before we started.
Yeah, that is really important. Yeah, like she was mentioning that like she needed to get back to the gym after your weekend because like get into it, force yourself to do it again, because the longer you're out of it, the more out of touch you are. And I feel like, when we're growing up, we're going to school for 8 hours a day. That's our routine. It's a built-in routine. They have us do physical exercise. They have us eat, our 3 meals. We have breaks to eat them. You're supposed to keep doing that throughout your adulthood, but we lose touch of that because we're so like independent and we're like, we don't need to do any of that stuff anymore. It's like, no, babe, you need to still be doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's key.
Yeah, routine is everything.
Yeah. What's one wellness trend that you absolutely cannot take serious?
Cottage cheese.
Oh, wait. Okay, I'm curious to know about this.
I can't with the cottage cheese. I know everyone's going to say it's amazing. And there is, there's an audience for it. I root on the girls that love cottage cheese. You are on a standard that I don't want to reach. But I can't get behind it. It's so nasty to me. It's not good in any meal. People are like, add it in with your, protein or with your bowl. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, the statement is true. It's like you can just have a couple roll-ups of turkey and it's the same thing.
Amount.
Like, I don't need to have this rotten, muffled, clumpy milk. It looks like rotten milk.
It's so funny you say that because I was a cottage cheese hater for like my whole life. And my mom and sister love it so much. They eat it every single day. And I'm just like, how are you eating this cottage cheese? Like, I hate cheese in general. Like, I'm not a cheese girl. And then they're like, it's so good for you. I did try it once on avocado toast with like some hot honey and chili flakes. And that is probably the only way I can eat cottage cheese. If not, like, me just trying to take a scoop out of the, like, the tin, oh no, I actually can't.
But I believe there's good ways to eat cottage cheese. Like, I'm on board, but I don't want it.
Yeah,
like, I just
scary.
want my normal avocado toast. Like, I don't want to eat the cottage cheese cottage toast. Like, you're not convincing me. I'm sorry.
I love that. Oh my gosh. We're going to switch into relationships and validation and self-worth. So I think so many women grow up tying their worth to being chosen, validated, wanted, complimented. And it honestly takes years to kind of unlearn some of that. Do you feel like your understanding of self-worth has changed as you've gotten older?
Totally. And the changing point is realizing how much a man will do for any woman. You know what I mean? Like, if you realize men do everything for the validation of women.
Yeah.
So the reason that women are somehow, like, making their brain have to believe that we have to be valuable for them is just very backwards.
Yeah.
And the truth is like, I feel like there's not enough talk on women being valuable, but yet there's more talk on how to be valuable towards a man or how to get a man or what a man should be doing for you to be deemed valuable, when it's really the other way around. Like, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Being a woman in general is powerful. Being a woman in general is what men want.
Exactly.
And just go for the man that actually wants you. Stop trying to convince a man that he should be with you. That's not going to work at all.
No,
like,
that's like the wrong relationship at that point, Like, if you're in that kind of situation, no.
No. So it's just like, it's definitely changed. It's definitely more, once you get out of the mindset of like, oh, I need a man in order to feel successful or happy with myself, and you realize like, if a man comes along, great. I'm a
Yeah.
woman. I can do everything. You know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
the right man doesn't see that, it's fine.
It's
like
fine, yeah.
another man will.
So
And that
true.
has changed. When I was younger, I felt like I was so much more trying to not convince a man, but like, you want them to stay. You want them to treat you right. You want
Right.
them to do what you see in the movies.
Exactly.
But the right man will, because he'll want
Yeah.
to, you know?
Exactly. You shouldn't have to like say anything really, you
No.
know? It's like that is already going to be reciprocated back to you
Yeah.
if that's the right man and he genuinely loves you, sees you as your person and wants this. The same thing.
Yeah, and don't get it confused. If he is not doing what you need, let him go.
Yeah.
He also deserves the love of his life. He doesn't need to be, you don't need to convince a man to change or do things for you because there is a woman that is perfect for him and it's just
Yeah.
not you.
Yeah.
Love each other enough to let each other find the right person.
Absolutely. I feel like protecting your peace too is so important as you get older. Was there a point where your boundaries kind of started changing?
Oh, totally. I never used to go back and forth. Like, I'm a big believer on if we break up, we're done, cancel it, cut it.
Yeah.
And then once upon a time, I let a man come back. And that's when, like, my world shifted. I felt like I was more prone to, like, letting men have multiple chances. And, like, I started convincing myself that, like, it's okay. People make mistakes. Like, you can take them back. You can try again.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah.
No. If he does something for you to let him go the first time, just let him go because it only gets harder to, like, leave at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned to continue the conversation.
Said what I said with Talin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Said What I Said with Talin. We're going to continue our conversation with Riley Simpson. So we are in the talks of relationships, and we were kind of just talking about how women don't need to stay for per se if they feel like the relationship is not going the right way that they've hoped or wanted it to be. Also, I feel like too, like when you're in a relationship and the guy isn't necessarily changing, like say you guys have talked about things like in the past that have happened or whatever, and you haven't kind of seen that change progression in the relationship, do you feel like it's like, would you be the one to give them a chance to see if like that could gradually change, or would you just be like, no, this is done, they clearly haven't changed anything, we gotta move forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. You know, I would say that nobody's gonna 100% change. Who he is in the beginning is who he is. So, like, take that into note. And you also don't want to change somebody. You know, it's not our responsibility to morph a guy into your perfect man.
Exactly.
You know, your perfect man does exist. He's not going to have everything.
Right.
That's good to, you know, write out the pros and cons list. And a relationship is hard in general, even when it is healthy, because you're
Yeah.
dealing with another person. So it's like giving each other the right amount of time to compromise and to talk about what's realistic for him to change. And if he agrees, if he doesn't agree that it's a problem, that's when it might be time to just maybe say, like, maybe we're not meant to be, you know, because you don't deserve to be unhappy. But at the same time, you do need to realize, like, nobody's going to be 100% perfect, even if he
Yeah.
is a great guy. So it's like, definitely, if it's one thing, you might need to swallow that one and let it go if he's a good man. But
Yeah.
if there's 100 things on the board and you're trying to change him into the Prince Charming that he clearly is not for you,
Right.
like, be in reality that, like, love is just not enough. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can't just, the love is going to fade. The candle wax ends up getting empty. You know what I mean? Like, eventually it stops burning. So if it's just love, that's the biggest thing, is like, love is not enough.
Yeah.
But if he's a good man, he actively tries and works hard for you, and you guys are mature, you guys are able to have good communication, you know, he's
Yeah.
responsible, those are irreplaceable traits.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. No, I think that's very well said, because I think some women are like kind of lost and confused. Like, what do we
Yeah.
do in those situations? So I feel like that's such a good way to like look at it
Yeah.
in a different perspective.
Give them all a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's not if it's one of your absolute no's and it's not changing and you just cannot deal with it, then take a break, take some time, like, you know, give each other the right space, be honest. Like, just the best relationship is an honest one.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone online is constantly reinventing themselves nowadays with the new routines, the new aesthetics, new personalities, new versions of themselves like every few months. Have you ever felt disconnected from reality with social media always changing with what's trending?
Oh, yeah. I feel like you're constantly trying to catch up on like the latest trend or what everybody's on. I feel like if I don't hop on to the trend, then I'm behind or I'm a person that didn't do it. And I feel like it's hard to, you know, everybody's chasing authenticity online, but authenticity also doesn't 100% work. Yeah. Everybody acts like, oh, if you're just authentic, it's going to go viral and you're going to be amazing. Nobody talks about how like the trending audios are what goes viral, and it's far and few people who are on here being open, honest, and real. Those videos get a couple hundred views. Like, you know what I mean? But like the viral sounds and clips that everybody is doing is the one that's going to hit the millions. So naturally it's like you want to fall into the trend, but then if you keep falling into trends, you're kind of losing yourself. So like that battle is really not fun.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, do you think social media kind of makes people feel behind in life when they're even like actually even doing okay?
Girl, I've been sending voice memos to all my friends, like asking them like, how do you not compare yourself to everybody around you? Like, I mean, how do you feel? Like, I know that you're high up there in social media as well, and I am in some girls' close friends and that I like don't even really know that well, and they're posting like their brand deals or what they're doing, the brand trips, and it's so hard for me to not feel successful. Like, I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel.
Girl, I've been there. Like, quite literally too recent as well, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's just like, we're like then stuck in this thing of like, okay, so what are we doing wrong? Like, you know, like, what do we need to be doing to be in these places, be at these events, be on these brand trips, like all these other girls we see online doing. And it's just like, my boyfriend's so good about this, but he's like, babe, you can't compare yourself to these people online. Like, you just need to stay true to you and keep doing what you love every day. Like, some things are going to do well, some things are not going to do well. Like, it's not going to always be happy-go-lucky every single day, you know? But as long as you're still keeping your head down and keep putting in that work, like, everything, like, I believe, like, the right timing, everything will work out the way it's supposed to, you know? And it's like, it's hard though, like just looking online every single day and seeing these things, you know?
How do you feel about like your confidence? Because I genuinely want to know from other people, because I'm just like, how do we do it? Like, be confident and keep going when you just feel like, I know I'm not failing because I do great things all the time.
Exactly.
But it's just nowhere near the bar to some of these other people that I just struggle with mentally.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, I feel like. I mean, because confidence, like, it doesn't come overnight. It's like something you kind of just have to build with over time. And just, I feel like for me, I'm always trying to give myself just grace more and like appreciate everything I've already done so far at this point in my life, and just kind of just learn to be okay with that and just stop like comparing as much as I can, even if it's just like a little bit a day. Like, yes, they'll have days where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm fine, like I don't need to worry about this, but then I'll have days where I'm just like, oh no, like why am I not doing this, you know? And it's really hard. It's like I don't even know like the right answer of like how we can truly stop doing that as women, you know?
Some of the best feedback I got was kind of the same, like not to compare yourself, clap for yourself, and also you don't necessarily know everybody's background and history on how they got there, who they're working with. You know, there's a lot of back ends to social media, just to give you some like clarity, and maybe somebody else, but it's just like there's a lot of back ends to social media. You don't know how people are necessarily 100% doing it. And I know I'm a one-person show. You know what I mean? It's all me. I don't pay for any ads. I don't pay for any followers. I don't pay for any views. You know, I don't make like these crazy investments in things. I just kind of do the content and I do my thing and I live my life and I work. So it's just like that's my get down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's other people that do more or less or whatever it might be. But like, yeah, it's just like you never really know what people are actually struggling with because they could be struggling with the same things and we don't even know.
Exactly.
But it is hard even in general because it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, but I saw you did this and that.
Yeah.
Or you just got that and I was also put up for the same thing and I didn't get it, you know? So
For sure. And I feel like one thing people fully don't understand is how emotionally draining it can be, like constantly just being perceived online. People make assumptions about you, compare you, project onto you, and sometimes they forget like there's an actual person behind the screen. Mm-hmm. And what's kind of been like the hardest part of you personally about living publicly online?
Yeah, probably privacy. You know, it's like you do it for so long that you're okay with putting everything out there. And then it's just like, oh, why did I say that? Or why did I put that out there? And or now they know about this business and they're asking me about another one. And maybe I post a lot about like my skin journeys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm open and willing to be like showing my face. And then other times I could be going through a month of like this purge breakout. And it's like, I don't want to show you guys what this looks like right now. You know, and people are like, what's going on with the skin? And they're just inspired and wanting to know about the journey. While I'm insecure and don't want to show my face for, you know, you got your fair share of haters or maybe friends in high school that, you know, talk crap about you still. And you don't want to go on there and be like, oh, yeah, I'm breaking out in my face and I'm crazy insecure. But that's also what your page is. Yeah. So dealing with that comes hard.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned to continue our conversation.
Said what I said with Talin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Said What I Said with Talin. We're going to continue our conversation today with Riley Simpson. So the next thing I wanted to ask you about is that I feel like a lot of women online feel like this kind of pressure to perform confidence, even when they fully don't feel it. So do you agree with this?
This is me. Yeah. I agree. I think that Rihanna said it best, you know, fake it. But then at the same time, we go back to the authenticity factor. And it's just like 9 times out of 10, when I'm getting online and I'm sharing something vulnerable, it does well than when I'm getting online and I'm like, everything's perfect. Yeah. But then I also hear feedback from my friends where they love looking at the girls that are like out of touch. So it's definitely like goes hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure. And what's something you wish more women were honest about online?
I wish women were more honest about their life.
Yeah.
You know, like your real life, like your real relationship, what you really like to do, you know, the confidence factor. I just think that we're all kind of filtering the same identity right now, where it's just like the same routine, the same goals, the same type of relationship. And whenever something's a little bit different, it's like purely judgment based, and nobody seems to have, well, that I see, has the perspective of like the rest of the world, life outside of social media, maybe what you thought about before when you were a kid. Like, did you always have this perspective of what it should be? A lot of times I get judged a lot, just like, oh, like, you know, other girls are doing this, or, you know, I watch this other girl that has a man that does all of these things, and it's like, why can't I just be happy with what I have and what I have going on? Like, why is there so much judgment on what I think is like happy, you know what I mean? Compared to like what other people think is happy. So I think if we could all just be a little bit more honest with ourselves too, and let people live their own life, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. What's like the funniest or like most ridiculous assumption like someone has maybe said about you like online?
I guess, I don't know, the funniest or most ridiculous assumption. I don't even know. I don't feel like I get too many assumptions.
Okay.
I don't know. What about you?
For me, it was so funny because my best friend, she has a podcast as well. And so we were talking a little bit about this on hers. But when her and I became friends, this was like over like 7-8 years ago, and she had another best friend like prior to me, and people like as soon as they saw me like posting with her, she posting with me, they were like, oh, you're trying to like take over her best friend position and da da da, like this is what you're trying to do, like you're just trying to gain all of this off of social media. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, first of all, I would never try and like intentionally be someone's best friend. Like that's a crazy thing to say. It's like if that person feels like I'm their best friend, like that's how they feel and they're gonna say that like online. I'm never trying to like take over someone's best friend position. It's like I'm just gonna be my real authentic loving self that I am with my friends, and if like that comes off to people as like, oh, she's trying to do this, I'm like, this is insane. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought that was like so crazy when people started thinking that like about me like online, and I was just, they were just like, oh, like is she in this friendship for the right reasons and da 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 da. And I was just like, okay, people, you need to chill out. I was like, you are not in our lives. You don't see what's happening behind closed doors, what my best friend has been through, that I've been by her side through all of that people don't see online on social media. So it's like people have their crazy assumptions, but it's like you really don't know the person, like I said before, like behind the screen, like actually you're not in their every day-to-day life to see like what's going on and what's happening. So it's like, how can you make those assumptions, you know?
No, totally. And that's like brings us back to the relationship thing and putting things on there. It's just like, when you put any relationship with a man or woman, friendship, family, it leaves it up for judgment. And people love to stir the pot and create drama and lore and like just being okay with that sometimes online, because obviously they say like, you know, if you don't have haters, you're not that popular, like all those things, you know? So it's just like, you kind of just got to let them feed into it. You know the truth. And I think that's the hardest thing that you learn through social media is like only you know the truth.
Exactly.
So it's just everybody else, they're gonna, you know, pry into all the drama because they love it. Yeah. But as long as you know the truth and you're living in your truth, like who cares?
Absolutely. Very well said. We're going to get into our Said What I Said segment to close this out. So we're just going to say the first thing that pops into your mind when I say a little statement. Okay. So the first one is, one thing women deserve to stop feeling guilty for is
food. It's always going to be food. Eat what you want.
Period.
It's a craving. Let yourself do it. Just don't overdo it.
Absolutely. The second one is, a conversation women need to have more honestly is
money. I would say
I like
money.
That. Yeah.
We need to be a little bit more honest with like what we bring to the table as well, because you know, you need to make money as well, you know.
For sure. Absolutely. And the last one is, one thing that quietly destroys women's confidence over time is
a man's perspective.
That part.
A man's perspective will ruin us.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Alrighty, Riley, thank you so much for coming on today and being honest. I feel like we had some really great conversations that a lot of women are probably can relate to, and hopefully if some of you guys were looking for some advice, this helped you at all. But this has been Said What I Said. Don't forget to follow Riley Simpson on all of her socials to keep up to date with all of her stuff. She is absolutely an amazing creator. I have to give you your props and your flowers as well. And you're just a really sweet human being if you ever have the chance to meet her in person. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. If this episode resonated with you guys, don't forget to like or share it with someone you know. And I'll see you guys next time. This has been Said What I Said with Talin. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Woo woo.
The mic is hot. The takes are real. Talin is here. Welcome to Said What I Said. From Hollywood to your headphones, she's bold, she's raw, she's Talin. And this is Said What I Said.
what I said with Talin.